Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is something really special. It's something that people ask me all the time. How do I unblock and open my third eye chakra? This is a huge question. It's something that I go over often with my clients or my viewers. It's just questions I get asked a lot. So I am so thrilled and excited to go over the top 3 ways that I think, and probably some things that you've never really heard before, that help to open and unblock your third eye chakra. So if this is something that you're interested in, please like and subscribe below. And here we go. So before I jump into how to open it, we got to talk about how it gets blocked. All right, so first of all, and I have many videos on chakras, so please look at those first. I feel like they're a great foundation for anything and everything spiritual. If you know what chakras are and basically how they function, you've got a great foundation. So the third eye chakra is your 6th chakra. It's like your 6th sense. It has a lot to do with your intuition. And so developing this particular chakra is really essential to developing your spiritual abilities and gifts, to connecting to your higher self, like all these things. But it's funny because a lot of people say, well, like I work on my third eye and it's open and I work on it. So this is important to understand. We have to understand the blockages first before we can really understand how to open it, right? So we kind of have to, it's kind of like, trying to get clean in a dirty place. Like if your bathroom and your shower was really dirty, trying to get clean in there doesn't really make sense. So we got to clean and clear things out first, then we can work on developing it. So here are some really common issues or blocks that people have with the third eye chakra. So some of these blocks can actually be from another lifetime. I try not to say past lifetime. And those of you that have watched my videos know that there is no such thing as time when we go beyond the physical reality. So it's kind of weird to say past life. It's actually more accurate to say previous or another. So I'm going to use the term another lifetime. Okay. So in another lifetime, you were killed or shamed or attacked or ridiculed for your psychic abilities, which made you feel threatened, and then carrying that fear-based stuff into this now lifetime can be an issue. But here's the amazing part. You might be thinking, okay, well, great. Now I've got an issue with my third eye chakra that happened in the past. How am I supposed to even work on that? The amazing thing is because the veil is so thin right now, the work you do on yourself right here and right now, you are still tethered to every version of you, meaning that you are tethered to your higher self and every aspect, every life, every being every role you've ever played. Right? So by working on yourself right now, you don't even need to know exactly what the damage or block or trauma was. You just need to know that it perhaps maybe from a previous lifetime and you want to clean and clear that out. And you can do that work right here, right now in this lifetime, which is huge. You can take action and responsibility to clean and clear out old traumas and old limiting beliefs right here. So how do you do that? Sit and meditate. You can ask your guides, if you're developed enough, you can ask your guides to go back and view. In some cases, my guides have literally told me there's no point in seeing what happened. You just need to clean and clear it out. You don't need to see all that negativity. You just need to know that it was there and you need to clean and clear it out. Okay. So during your meditation, you can visualize other aspects of yourself and say, I'm going to call other aspects of myself. And whether you get an image in your mind, that doesn't matter. All right. I'm going to call forward other aspects of myself that have some limited beliefs or blockages or issues or imbalances with the third eye. And then I want to love, honor, and send love and light. I want my guides, my angels, my team of light to help me to clean and clear out all of those here and now. So that one actually seems pretty easy to do, right? Okay, so the next is our old limiting beliefs in this current lifetime, okay? So let's say in this current lifetime, You have some old limiting beliefs from traumas that happened to you in this lifetime, or maybe how you were raised, your culture or your religion have put forth boundaries or markers on you to say, well, you have to do this and you have to do that. But let's be real, a lot of those things have changed. If you went backward 100 years ago, you were only allowed to be married to somebody of the opposite sex, and most of the time it was within your same race or culture, and most of the time you had to be, married by a certain time, otherwise you were considered like useless, right? A female in their 30s who were single, there was obviously something wrong. All those things don't matter anymore. It makes actually no logical sense anymore, okay? And it certainly doesn't make any spiritual development type of a sense, right? So those are old limiting beliefs, old cultural beliefs. You will have some of your grandparents and great grandparents that have a hard time understanding why you would date outside of your race, or why you would date somebody that isn't the opposite sex, or why this individual that you love is in their 30s and have never been married before. Those kinds of things, right? Those are limiting. That's what I'm talking about. They don't serve us anymore. They don't have anything to do with our development or higher good. It's time to let those go, right? And so those are really easy and obvious examples, but you may actually have other limiting beliefs that are buried way down deep that you don't even really know why you feel a certain way about a certain topic. It's probably because of some cultural, religious, or traumatizing experience of some kind that you had when you were, younger, or as you were developing in this lifetime, that have kind of given you these blockages and limitations. So what that really boils down to is that you are fearful of being judged or shamed for going outside of that belief. Either it's a belief that you created on your own, or one set forth set for you by your culture or your religion, right? And you feel like if you do not agree with that anymore and you do something different, that you will be judged or shamed, right? And so we're really breaking loose from a lot of that. If you guys can step back and take an observer perspective, a lot of that is old stuff. Like, we don't really subscribe to that anymore, right? Because love is love, and you should be able to love anybody that you wanted, any shape, size, sex, color, belief system or whatever, right? And so a lot of those are limiting, but a lot of times that blocks our third eye chakra from opening because we're still holding ourselves back. We're still a little worried that our families or our cultures will judge us for wanting to take a different route for our life, or even our spiritual beliefs and things like that. So that can be a big, big, big one. And I find this one is the most common one and the most difficult for people to work through. So how do we work on that? Shadow work and inner work. Call back your younger version of self. Sit down and mentally, during a meditation, talk to your family members or your past loved ones, your great grandparents, and say, I would like to grow in my development, which means I have to shift and change, and times are changing. That's the only constant we have. And so to grow properly, I need to do that. And sitting down and having that conversation with them will help you let go. It's not about them. It's never been about them. It's about you. It'll help you let go of that belief, right? So that will really help. All right. The third common blockage that we have in the third eye is simply fear. A lot of people are afraid of opening their third eye because they're afraid of what they're going to see or experience. They're also afraid of how it may change them and then the ripple effects of that. So once you are awakened, I've heard this before, once you are awakened, you can't really go back. Once you've seen what's behind the curtain and how the magic trick was done, or, you can't really go back. And so people are often they have a lot of fear about change and change within themselves. So this fear of not knowing what you're going to see and what you're going to experience, when you open your third eye, you're opening it up to your higher self, to your angels and your guides and all these things. And people can get sometimes very fearful of other beings that may be there. So I'm not saying that there aren't other beings there, but what I will tell you is you have free will, which means you set the boundaries and you set the intentions. I don't deal with negative energies, okay? Do I know that they're there? Can I feel them? Can I kind of sense them? Of course. But I'm not going to sit down and have a conversation with some crazy negative energy. That is not what my purpose is, right? So let me explain. When you want to open your third eye, if you feel like you're a little resistive and fearful because you're afraid of what you might see, then set boundaries. Sit and meditate with your higher self and say, I want to see only beings of love and light. I want to interact with and see my angels or my team of light. I want to develop my spiritual gifts. I want to understand myself beyond this human form and lifetime, right? You're asking for growth and wisdom in that kind of frame and category, which is beautiful. And then you can set the intentions and say, I want to see these things to develop myself. So then maybe I can again develop my gifts. Maybe seeing auras is something that you feel can really help you understand yourself or others. Maybe you want to develop as a healer or a light worker. Maybe you just want to be a better person or a better mom or a better friend or a better partner, right? By understanding all huge aspects of self, you're going to be bettering and growing and shifting and changing, right? But you set the intention, right? So when I set those boundaries and intentions for myself, I told my higher self and my team of light, there will be a time and place for me to do energy work. I do not want to be bombarded or interrupted by past loved ones while I'm out to eat and with my family and friends at that time. There's a time and place. Now, I have since adjusted that boundary, but that's for another video. So when I first started out, I'm like, don't bother me if it's not the time or place, right? I also wanted it to be a really beautiful process of understanding and learning for me, but the person I was working with. So if I was doing energy work or mediumship, I wanted it to be a beautiful, positive experience. So that is what I attracted, and that is what people were attracted to. So I wasn't attracting people that may have had other negative things stuck to them, okay? That may be just for a different type of light worker, healer, or medium that wasn't in my wheelhouse, right? So that's what I'm saying. So I only connect with angels, my team of light, beautiful light body beings, ancient wise ancestors, or Native Americans, or all these beautiful beings that had the same vibration and frequency and same alignment. They felt that their purpose was to better themselves and better humanity, or better get a higher vibration or a different unique frequency to help them serve others. That has always been my intention. That is my purpose, to help myself grow so that I can help you grow. That is my purpose, right? Help you grow and heal. So, and I guarantee it's probably your purpose too if you're watching the video, because you yourself are probably a light worker as well, right? So you set the boundaries, you set the intentions, okay? So there is nothing for you to be nervous or afraid of as long as you realize that you have free will and you are in control, okay? All right, so those are the ways that we can be blocked, and those are the things that we can do to unblock them. So now we need to talk about how are we actually going to open this third eye up? Okay, here we go. We're actually going to move beyond the third eye. Okay, so this is the 6th chakra. The 7th is our crown chakra, okay? So we're going to go beyond the 6th and beyond the 7th chakra. Now, I like to think of the 8th chakra as the earth star chakra that connects me to the ground. It's at the bottom of your feet, okay? So technically, the next chakra above your crown would be kind of like a number 9. Now, this chakra is amazing. This chakra helps connect us to our Akashic records, helps to connect us to our higher self, because we are going beyond, right? We're going beyond the human itself, and we're going up into our higher selves. We're going up into the universe. We're going up into and out of the physical realm, okay? So when we do that, we are connecting to other aspects of ourselves, right? So by working on that chakra, by visualizing it open and visualize this huge beam of light shining down and light coming up from underneath you from the earth and really just resonating in that space, right? Will help to open and align all of your chakras, but especially this one, right? Because there is so much in your Akashic records, you have had many, many, many lifetimes before, otherwise you would not be here on earth. This is a very hard reality and plane to be on, okay? So you've had many, many, many lifetimes before now. Okay, many even human lifetimes before now, not to mention all the other ones you had to have before you got here. So you have been developing your spiritual gifts and skills, and you have learned how to do things, many really amazing things over all of these lifetimes. those records are in your Akashic records. And when you open this chakra, right, the soul star chakra, when you open this chakra, you begin to have access to all of the versions of yourselves, the other lifetimes that you've had, which means you can revisit some of those old skills and start to develop them again. These are skills like channeling. These are skills like mediumship. These are skills like being a healer or a better light worker. These are skills like telepathy, biolocation, all of those things, okay? So that is a huge, amazing chakra to open and develop if this is the direction that you obviously want to go in. So how do we do this? How do we open that chakra? So again, you're going to visualize light coming from, because you have a strong tether to the earth. It's why it's a part of being human right now. It's kind of like a good safety net. So you have this strong tether to the earth. Visualize energy coming from even above that chakra, from the heavens, coming down and really expanding this with beautiful light. And you are going to honor your higher self. You're going to honor all the wisdom that you've gained through every lifetime you've ever had. And you are going to accept the energy, the light codes, the information, the knowledge, and the education that is there waiting for you in this chakra. This will allow you to upgrade. This will allow you to raise your vibration, okay? And most importantly, that will funnel down through the 7th and then into the 6th chakra, connecting the universe to you. Another reason why opening this chakra is so amazing is that you are tapping into your records. Now remember, that means that you can also tap into your mission or your purpose for this lifetime. Now, we have contracts. Before we come here, we make agreements with our soul family of the experiences that we're going to have in these big lifetime milestones. Now, we can take weird left turns and things could happen that weren't really part of like the whole concept of this lifetime. We can get off track. Usually our guides will help us get right back on our path. But my point is that you can tap into discovering what your purpose and your mission is. You can look at some of those records, or your guides can explain some of those things to you. Now, some people aren't here to have this big, huge, profound experience. It may just be to be here as an open-minded, loving, light body being, just to be here. It may be to develop these skills further, to open up this chakra, to tap into this stuff, to pull back in that information that you've had but have never really collected, right? And it may be something big, like helping other people awaken, helping other people develop along their healing journey. It may be something as beautiful as that. They're all beautiful, they're all unique, and they're all wonderful. And they're all very different. We all have different missions and things that we need to accomplish while we're here, right? But you have access to that now, which is super exciting, right? So when people are like, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? Can you tell me? And I'm like, no, I can't tell you. I mean, maybe, sure, I could possibly look into that, but it's not for me to tell you. You have to discover what it is for yourself. And that means you have to do the work, which means you have to develop other chakras before you can move on to this particular chakra, okay? The 9th soul chakra. All right, we are moving on and going beyond this particular chakra to the next that's just above that. This chakra, I'll say, is the 10th for reducing confusion. But this is called the solar, like the sun, your solar star chakra. Now, it is connected to the sun, which we see as a very masculine yang energy. So you'll hear people refer to the father sun and the mother moon, right? The moon has very feminine, nurturing mother qualities. If you guys are into astrology and everything, you kind of have a good concept of that too. But the sun has shifted into 4D, or the 4th dimension, which means it has a new frequency and vibration, which means it is sharing with us its light, its energy. And guess what is in light? Light has the ability to transmit and transmute codes or information which activate your DNA on a quantum level, right? That is huge, 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 what I just said, okay? So what we're saying is, the sun is how my guides are just reminding me of something. The sun is how my guides, their best description of God or source, okay? And this is how they describe. I'm not saying that the sun is God. I'm just saying that they're using it as an example because it's such a big concept that it's kind of hard for us to understand. So they use the sun as an example. The sun is why is everything. It is why we have tides, the sun and the moon turning over, right? It's why we have light. It's why we grow plants and animals, which actually sustain our life, right? The sun helps things to grow so that we have plants and the soil just doesn't get like whipped away. The sun, it feels good to be in the presence of the sun. And when you haven't seen it for a long time, you miss the sun when it's been really gloomy and rainy, right? The sun warms us, right? Which is a huge reason why planet Earth can even exist and why it's not a constant, just big chunk of ice floating in space, right? The sun is basically everything, right? Without the sun, everything on our entire planet would probably perish, right? So they kind of use that as an example. The sun is a part of us. We eat things like the animals and plants, and it nourishes our body all because of the sun. So it's just an example. I'm not saying that the sun is source, but I'm saying that they use it as an example. Like that is how source, it is within you. It is a part of you. And you can't live without it because it is everything, right? It is absolutely everything. And then also in some ways kind of like nothing because it's not something that you can really, you can kind of see it, but it's not something that you can see the rays doing what it does. You can't see photosynthesis starting to happen on the plants and the trees, right? So it's kind of like you can't see it, but you know how important and vital it is. So think about all of that energy, the essence of that wrapped up into that solar star chakra. Very, very powerful. And that light, that energy, that frequency carries with it activations, light codes, information that can go right into that chakra and can be funneled down again right into you. Okay? And don't forget that this is where we have our pineal gland, right? And this is where we actually have a lot of chemical releases or hormonal releases that help to filter out to the rest of our entire body and why we function the way that we do. And so that energy really helps to develop this, which will obviously help to develop and open your third eye. All right, the next chakra is the third one up. So this is going to be the 11th, and it is called the Galactic Gateway Chakra. All right, now this one is really cool. This is one that allows you to tap in. Now think of what I just said, gateway, galactic gateway. This is what you have to develop to connect with the Galactic Federation, to connect with the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Sirians, right? Because you are putting out like a ripple of frequency, like how sonar pinging and stuff like that. You are resonating that energy out and asking for light body beings to send information back, okay? And so this can go far, far, far and wide. So think of like a radio or sonar, how it can go far and wide underwater or above ground in our technology here. But imagine if you go beyond the physical limitations and up into these chakras, that you can send out your own little pinging radio wave type thing. And you'll be answered when you have those questions. So now you have access beyond just yourself and your Akashic records, but you have access to other light body beings and worlds that aren't even within your same time frame, right? Because again, there's no such thing as time. So now you're moving beyond time and space, interacting with light body beings that have an ample amount of wisdom and are so ready and happy to help. And you're thinking, well, maybe why? Like why, right? Because we all have the same purpose when it boils down to it. It helps them and their development and their purpose, because their purpose is to serve, to help. And when you ask questions and you're curious and you're really trying to develop self, they hear that pinging, that vibration, and they answer the call. And they're like, here, young little light one, here's some information that may help you. Here's some light codes that can help you develop, right? And so it is a beautiful chakra to help open and meditate and work on opening, because again, that information funnels down and comes right into your third eye chakra. So all three of them do that. All three of them funnel down into that third eye, which helps you to integrate that information into your third eye and your crown, which then you receive the information telepathically, you interpret that, and it actually comes out through communication or expression, through your art, through speaking on video, or in other ways, where you then turn around and help serve others. Okay, so it's a really, really cool trickle down effect that we actually have. Now, this is kind of some advanced stuff. So this is really, for my star seeds and light workers. However, I think it's beautiful for anybody. If you were just starting out, and this video may have been way over your head in some aspects, it doesn't matter, because you just got your mind blown by the possibilities, and now you are realizing that you do not have to subscribe to limitations anymore. And that alone is enough to give you information and light codes for you, right? And then, of course, other people that are a little bit more advanced, we'll say, and have been practicing and working on self for a little bit longer, may just have needed just a little bit of this information to help continue along their journey. And it doesn't take a lot of time, because remember, time is the meaning and our understanding of time is shifting and changing as well. So even if this is something that you've only been playing with for like a year, that does not mean that it's going to take you 10 years to do the things that I just explained. Because again, the concept of time, linear time, you have to be 20 years old to understand, love, or you have to be 40 years old to understand the meanings of these things in life. Out of the mouth of babes now, right? We get information. We have such a deeper level of understanding, right? And there's been tons of even research where they've watched tribes or little communities perhaps of animals like chimpanzees or monkeys, and one will learn a new skill, and it doesn't take very long for others to pay attention and start to develop that skill, and innately there will be little ones born being able to do that skill, and they'll just start doing it right away. And so my point is that as all of us, like even light workers long before us, have started to shift and change and develop and raise our vibration, people that have just started to awaken have these huge advanced skills right away, which is so exciting. It's so exciting to see, right? So this video, although it may be advanced, it's still relevant for people that are kind of just starting out, or people that are even beyond this stage. So I love these kind of videos because they are timeless in helping you to develop self and your skills. And in reality, that's what we're doing. This video should be helping you to develop yourself. And all that information I gave you is going to be coming right through all of those chakras, right into your heart chakra, right? Beyond even your third eye, because these two right here, and you'll see me reference this all the time, when these are clean and clear, boy, you can travel the universe, right? And so this information will ring true to your quantum receiver, which is your heart, right? And so this information will be kind of calculated, and you'll understand it through your telepathy, but you'll know that it's true because it will ping in your quantum receiver, your heart, okay? So anyway, I hope that this video was really unique and different and cool, going way beyond some of the other basic concepts that we've discussed before, and that it just really helps advance you in your development, in your healing, in your discovery of self, your discovery of your abilities, and maybe even connecting to your team of light and your higher self or your higher light body beings. So I'm very excited for you guys to venture off and try some of these new things in developing and opening up your third eye and going even beyond that. And it's always exciting for me to share information with you guys because it helps me fulfill my purpose, which is helping you along your healing journey or along your awakening process. So with that, I will send you a lot of love and light, my friends.